our plan for, this recording sound keeps coming on. There it is, gone.
There it is. It's fine.
So we got some exciting things coming up on our calendar. We're starting to plug in some more events after September 7th. And one that I just wanted to mention is that we have a mentoring session next Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. It's on our website as soon as you go on our website. So if you're interested in hearing a little bit about mentoring and the purpose of mentoring and the benefits of mentoring, please feel free to have a look at the website and join us. And that's enough of an advertisement from me. Thanks, John.
All right,
well,
John,
thanks very much for having us. I mean, we have done, we had a course of training seminars of our own held by AZEK and TimberTech. Normally we do what's called AZEK U. It's where we fly contractors and builders down to our plants. Of course, we couldn't do that this last year. So I basically turned my garage into a mini AZEK U here and tried to do as much training as I could online. We even did a few out in the driveway, I think, open air, so it was socially distanced. But this has been our course of action, and we actually will be going back to in-person training at our plants this coming winter. It normally starts in January. So we'll be doing more of that. We have a very supportive CEO, and he loves the value of touch points. So the in-person touch points are very important with our product. There's some things that you just can't really get your head around unless you're right in front of the product, seeing it installed. And the other good thing about our AZEK U's is that it allows people to mingle, and they share best practices and stories and challenges. And so that's a whole other aspect of having a group of dynamic individuals in a room, and socializing. Like we do some socialization in the evenings and stuff. That we hope we never lose, that sort of face-to-face contact. So that's all I'm going to say, because I could ramble on for an hour, I'm sure. So Susan, do you want to let me know when we're ready to start?
The floor is yours.
Okay. So I will just reverse my polarity here, and then everyone can hear me all right, I'm assuming. Any questions? I am not going to have the screen in my hand, so if you're typing your questions, Susan, if you could just interrupt me and read me the questions, or if there's some that can be saved to the end, just save them to the end, and I'll again read them to me, and then I'll answer them accordingly.
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. All right, so you have a customer that walks in, and that customer says, I want to buy 56 16 footers of dark teak. Yeah, okay, write up the order. Out the yard he goes. He says, I'm building this sucker in Pemberton, 2 hours north of here, and he's gone. So then you get an angry call later. Where are my fasteners? How come you didn't sell me any fasteners? How come you didn't sell me any square-shouldered boards? Square-shouldered boards are very important. They start the project. So it's important to slow the customer down a little bit sometimes and just ask them the pertinent questions. Do you need a perimeter board? In 99% of our installs, the answer is yes. So majority of our boards are grooved. And so they're going to look like this with a groove, and those are held by clips. So when you're building a deck, the majority of the deck surface is going to be grooved boards. Sorry, was somebody asking a question?
No, so go ahead.
Okay, but usually you start the board with your perimeter boards, and the perimeter board is going to be a square-shouldered board like this. It's a finished edge, and you use these on perimeters and stairs. You're also going to need some fascia. My fascia is way over there, but the fascia would go right here. Normally, it would be the same color as the perimeter board. Now, sometimes the perimeter board and the grooved board are the same color, and often they're different colors as well. So this is called an accent color, and often the majority of the deck will be grooved, one color, perimeter board and stairs a different color. But that perimeter board needs to be square-shouldered. You screw these down first. That's what starts the project. Now, we talked about fasteners and the angry contractor who drove up to Pemberton and you didn't sell many fasteners. So of course you need your clips for your grooved boards. So that's qualification number one. Qualification number two is, do you want to go with a different color on your perimeter board? Qualification number three would be, what are you doing for screws? Do you want to use a top screw, color match screw, or do you want to use a cap and plug system? So we have both. I can get them out of here. So this is a color match top screw. And we have nearly 30 colors, but we have only 7 or 8 colors of top screw. So like a medium gray will do several colors of gray. Dark brown will be several colors of brown. But that's what it looks like on the perimeter. And they used to do the entire deck in these, but then they came out with grooves and started doing clips. So normally you only top screw the perimeter board and the stairs. So you can go with the color match, or you can go with the plug system. So as you can see here, pretty invisible. And we make a plug system for every one of our colors. So they're actually made from the deck board themselves, and they're just a countersunk screw, very similar to this one, but it'll be galvanized on top, and it gets countersunk about, I don't know, 1/4 inch, and then there's a plug that goes in. So you need those three things, those three types of fasteners as you're walking out the door. So it's ways to add to the sale. So grooved boards, yes. Perimeter boards, yes. Fasteners, yes. And what are you doing for your perimeter screws? Now, you don't have to use our screws necessarily. In fact, we just had a question about this before I got on here. Somebody called in, they wanted to use a different manufacturer's fasteners. So that's okay, it's not recommended, but we make our fasteners specifically to fit our groove. Now, each manufacturer's grooves at a different height. So while we can't automatically void a warranty based on the fastener used, if the fastener has caused a problem or led to expansion and contraction, sliding of boards, and the boards have damaged each other, then that could lead to a fail. So majority of the time, sell them our fasteners, and guess what? Our distributors are very good at catching these things. So if you're new on the sales desk and someone comes in with a big order, often our distributors will ask you pertinent questions like, what are they doing for perimeter? What are they doing for screws? And oh, by the way, I noticed your order doesn't have any screws on it at all. It should. Now there's deck screws, and then there's also fascia screws. So with fascia screws, the AZEK fascia is just a deck screw. So you can use the same screws you're using now with a color match, or you can, that would be 2.5 inch, or you can buy a shorter screw. You can even use a shorter screw on AZEK fascia. So it's 1 5/8. That may get forgotten on the order. It's not a big deal if it gets forgotten on the order, because you can just use the screws you got for your perimeter color. TimberTech, a little bit different. It has a specific screw. It's more like siding, where it's going to want to move. It's going to expand and contract. So this screw has to be ordered with every TimberTech fascia order. And again, our distributors are very good at catching that. So very important to take a little time and a little breather and talk about fasteners with your contractor. Sorry about that. All right, so big things have changed. We were going to spend this entire seminar, and I spend a lot of my seminars going over, you know, very detailed nuances between our products and our competitors. And it's very fact heavy, but because things have changed so much, we've always known that the biggest competitor to composite decking is actually wood. It's not all the decking manufacturers. It's not Trex versus us versus Fiberon and all the rest. It's us versus wood. It's the composite decking industry versus wood. So we're 20% of the market, they're 80% of the market. So we got a long ways to run on that forefront. So Wood. Wood has obviously leapt up a bunch in price. And where before customers were coming in, homeowners were coming in, and they're having tremendous angst about whether to go with wood or make the jump to entry-level composite. Now, entry-level composite in the past has been 2-3 times as much as wood. But now it's on par. So our entry-level decking product composite is on par with your 5-quarter cedar and 5-quarter treated products. So in addition to that, you get a 25-year warranty just with our entry level, 30-year warranty with our midpoint, 50-year warranty with AZEK. So now the customer is walking in and they're starting at entry-level composite and saying, what does the Cadillac cost? And in our families here, Jody, if you can just show all of our colors really quick. So we're at 30 colors at the moment. We're trying to abbreviate that a little bit, but you know, we're probably going to get it down to about 24, 25. But you have every color of the rainbow for just about every project you're ever going to want to fit a house with. So don't get in the way of that process. You know, the customer will come in, they're more educated than they've ever been before. So with COVID and things slowing down in our lives a bit, they have really gone out and educated themselves. And they will sometimes pick out if you're using the wrong fastener. They will pick out if you're, say for example, installing in the wrong order. They'll call you out on it. And often they have already chosen their railing and other accessories, and they know what they want when they come in. So don't get in the way in that process, because if you're just selling that guy groove deck boards and he runs out the door and that's a $5,000 sale, that could be a $20,000 project. So you ask those qualifying questions, you know, what are you doing for railing? What are you doing for trim? You know, do you need any other accessories like lighting? Then it helps you increase the value of that specific order. Now, going back to wood. So when you start with wood, this is a great little sales tool I have in my truck all the time. I've had this for 3 years. So common stains. We have red wine, mustard, ketchup, barbecue grease. This side's wiped off in 60 seconds. Even having said that, you might not see this on the camera, but there is oils that have already penetrated within 60 seconds. If you leave it overnight, 24 hours, these stains are here permanently. I did the same thing, same lines on our deck board here. All of that stuff, no matter how long I leave it on there, it flakes off. So it comes off very easily. The other drawback with wood is, you know, you're pulling off the shelf, it's already cracked. So it's cracked before you even start. You put a screw in, it cracks again. Then when you get it on the deck, you got to worry about not only splinters, but you have to worry about those stains. So you have to treat it right away. There's an additional cost to that. So now when we're talking products that are on par, and this one requires immediate treatment, so you have to put some sort of sealant on this, then it becomes more expensive than entry-level composite. Plus, you have to do that, repeat that process every second year. Every second year, you're going to have to retreat it. So it's wrong to think of composite as zero maintenance. It's not. It has to be cleaned every year, but it is definitely low maintenance. So what we're seeing in the industry now more than ever is this trend towards low maintenance, obviously. So boomers that are getting older like me, we don't want to do as much work anymore. It's hard on our backs. You know, I don't want to have to restain stuff every second year. I don't have to replace boards every 4 or 5 years. So we're leaning towards lower maintenance. The younger folks that are out there, new homeowners, they often don't even have tools. So they want low maintenance as well. So there were several trends before COVID that were pushing people towards composite. Obviously, wood versus composite pricing now being on par, that has created a tsunami. Now, we don't know how long that's going to last. Obviously, there's many factors that could slow that growth. But But for now, we've had a huge surge last year and another huge surge this spring in sales. And basically we've had to kind of like manage a train going off the tracks. It's not a train wreck. There's some wheels of the train are off the track. So we've been out of certain sizes of colors. You know, our peak of our season is usually May, June, July. This year it started in April, maybe even earlier than that. So that peak of the building season, the decking season has, we think, has been pulled forward. So that peak normally goes for about 3 months. We could be in big trouble if that peak is much more extended. So we got $3 million worth of product in here this month. Prior to that, we started the year with a record amount of inventory in BC. It got drawn down very quickly. We have a second wave of inventory that's come in now. We should be good for the next 3 months, let's say. We might have another scrape depending on how long that peak of the season goes for. So we may see another scrape, say in that late August, September timeframe. We'll see how things go there. But you know, our distributors overall have actually handled it very well. You know, we've done our best to try and fill the holes and get them their booking orders, but it has been a little herky-jerky to start the year, but we're in good shape at the moment. So resources. We have unlimited supply of the outdoor living catalog. So 2021 outdoor living catalog. This one I would not hand out to customers because it has everything in the book here, 72 pages. This one I would keep behind the desk. There's a lot of products in here that are sold only in the States. So keep this behind the desk. We have a shorter version, an 8-page version here, which covers the main products in Canada, and will probably be 90% of your sales will come out of these 8 pages rather than 72 pages. There's other resources that we have. We have this Advantage Guide, which is great for staff to read. These can be downloaded online as well. And it just compares our products with wood, with competitors' products. It's a great read. You know, there's lots of bullet points in here that help you out. There's lots of bullet points on the back of our products. So if you look at any of our samples, they're going to have this little cheat sheet on the back of it. So this is true of our 2-foot and our 4-inch samples. So if you're stuck, go to your display, look at the back of it. There's some great bullet points there. The warranty is there as well, which is very important. Now, as far as continuing to complete the order, we've kind of covered completing the order. You want grooved boards, square shouldered, clips for the grooved boards, screws for the square shouldered boards. But there's other opportunities to add to the invoice. Some of those might include flashing tape. So most of our wood is still bare spruce or fir or whatever you're using for your framing. But these boards are now 25, 30, 50-year warranties. The wood's not going to last that long. So you want to protect it. Put a flashing tape on. I don't care if it's ours or somebody else's. We make one that's a butyl tape. But I would almost do every project with a flashing tape. This helps protect the wood and just acts as kind of a rain cap over top of the joist and helps it last longer. More often than not, you're going to want to use pressure treated there on your framing, but some guys are still using, you know, blonde wood. So flashing tape. Then also, we do make a deck cleaner. So I would, you know, as a promo, this would be a great item to give away with every deck purchase. You know, this is a concentrate. It's a 3-to-1 concentrate. You have to maintain your composite decking. So this is a small way to add to your purchase. You know, promo it the first time around when they first buy their deck, but when they use this product up, they'll come by and want to buy some more. So 4-to-1 concentrate, you mix it in a mop pail, give the deck a good scrub and wash off. A great way to add to your invoice. Now, other things, railing. So we make our own composite railing. Now, the composite railing requires that you nest some 4x4s in the framing of your deck. But this railing also has very significant warranties, 25-year warranty on this. And it's the piece that we dropped earlier is the one I wanted to show you. So this is a typical post sleeve. They come 12 feet long, white or black. You cut it to the height that you need. So usually in BC, it's going to be around that 45-inch height wise above the deck surface. And a 4x4 fits in here. So this fits over top of the 4x4 that you've nested in the framing. We have many options as far as the guts go. So you can do glass here, you can do cable rail, you can do aluminum baluster, you can do composite baluster. So this is a 2 or 3 hour training seminar just on railing alone. So we're just going to mention it here, but for any of you out there, I would say that, you know, it's worth going to our website. We have multiple videos online. There's probably 8 to 10 hours worth of videos that show how to install our product. You know, you're not going to get much from this 30-minute seminar, but you know, just to get an idea of how the framing would work and how to insert your 4x4 into the post if they're going with composite decking or composite rail, that is, and you know, how to build the rail, how to put glass in, you know all those options before that angry customer comes to your desk and says, hey, I want cable rail. Can you get it? And if you haven't done the videos or looked at our website, you're like, what's cable rail? You know, so worth it for you to educate yourself a little bit. So evenings and weekends when you have free time. We do also make an aluminum rail. So the aluminum rail is both a top screwed and side mounted rail. It's panelized, so fairly easy to use. These panels are crimped, 6 and 8 footers. And you basically lay out your posts, screw those in, cut the panels as per the width you need, screw those in, and then put your handrail on. So fairly quick and easy, white, black, and dark bronze on our aluminum rail. Another opportunity is on lighting. So lighting can be put on our decks without even selling them a rail package. So you can add lighting to your decking. We have in-deck lights and we have riser lights for stairs. So usually we're just stocking these in yard bronze and white. The yard bronze works for black as well as any other brown colors of decking. So a couple opportunities there. Within our railing, we can do other lights as well. We have accent lights, you know, we have under rail lights, so some different options there. The next way that you can add to the deck purchase is ask them, what are they doing underneath their deck? Is it going to be storage? Do they want a dry space? Is it going to be living space? So if it's going to be outdoor living space, we have this product called Dry Space. And Dry Space is a 3 or 4 piece system depending on your install. But basically it's this winged piece that goes underneath the joist. So this can be installed with the initial construction of the deck, or it can be a retrofit piece. You have these wings here and a ledger piece as well with a V panel. Now this V panel will be 12 or 16 inches wide, 12 or 16 feet long, depending on the kit you get. But basically it just snaps in here and provides you know, a weatherproof system underneath to keep whatever you have underneath your deck dry. So you can have a living space underneath your deck. So that's another opportunity to make an additional sale. We also do a whole line of trim. So we have AZEK PVC trim. It's like a cedar grain on one side and flat on the other. Our trim boards are reversible. They're screwed in with the same type of screws as your decking. It's a composite screw that's common. Your trim screws that many of you have stocked in your showrooms will work with this decking or this trim here. And we have a variety of different thicknesses. We can go anywhere from 1.5 inches, 3/4 inch batten to a 4x8 sheet, or a 4x10, or a 4x12, 4x18, 4x20 sheet of this product. So Having said that, we also have molding. So most of your sales are on trim are going to be ground contact items. So you know, they're going to be the trim boards, thermal stops, that type of thing. But you know, we have column wraps, we have skirt boards, we have bead boards. There's quite a broad selection here. We have a number of moldings. You know, maybe not all of these are stocked at our warehouses because they're less popular in Western Canada and US, but you know, don't hesitate to try. If it's a big enough order, they'll bring in full lists for you. So, so yeah, there's a number of ways to add to your purchase or to have that customer come back again and buy a similar brand. So, how are we doing for time, Susan?
Okay, so it's 12:25 and I'll see if we have any questions or you can keep on going. At this point, there's no questions.
I can stop here. So if anybody has any questions, don't hesitate.
Okay, so Chris, Drew, Inder, Liam, Michael, Mark, any questions? Ron, Shad, any questions? Unmute yourself or enter it into the chat. While they're thinking about that, there is one question. The deck cleaner, is it 3-to-1 ratio or 4-to-1 ratio?
It's actually 4-to-1. Yeah.
It's 4-to-1 ratio. Thank you very much. And any other questions? I don't see any other questions coming up at the moment.
All right. So I would say just, you know, continue to be open, educate yourself when you have time. We have great resources online. The videos are all up to date on our website. It's under resources. You know, literature wise, most of our literature you can download if you're in a pinch and you're out of something, you can download off your website. Yeah.
Excuse me, John. We have a question from Inder. What is the lead time on the product?
So majority of our colors are stocked right here in the Lower Mainland. You know, we used to be 24 to 48 hours, but our distributors are so busy right now with orders that that's getting stretched out a bit. So 3 to 5 days on the majority of our colors. We have, you know, $3 million worth here in the Lower Mainland. So just about every color and every size at the moment is available. You know, very few holes at the moment, but it's relatively quick. Now we do have some stocking dealers. So some stocking dealers will carry maybe the more common grays, you know, silver maples, ashwoods in gray has been very popular. So those are immediate, like a contractor can pick those up right away. We have guys like Country Lumber stocking our medium price point. So, so some of the items are immediate, off the shelf, impulse buy, you know, others 3 to 5 days wait, I would say, to get it to the job site.
Excellent. And that's understood. Thank you very much. And any other questions? If you do, open your microphone or enter it into the chat. At this point, there are no other questions, John.
Okay. So don't hesitate to get in touch if you need 4-inch samples, 2-foot samples. Our distributors are pretty well stocked up on those. I can get you some out in a pinch sometimes too, but I travel often, so a little more difficult. Literature wise as well, I think they try and get out as much of the updated catalogs as possible. But you know, if you need something, say, hey, John, you're screwing up. I don't mind being called out. You're screwing up. You haven't updated our literature in forever, and we got no 4-inch samples. We will take care of you. So don't hesitate to call.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for attending today.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.